Yeah, good evening, YouTube. So I got my power shelf outside. I was just charging my 4S battery today, so I don't have any cells in here. And I thought that might be a good time to clear out some of these cell holders, because I think I showed you this in an earlier video. If you plug one of these cells in here, these ribs come up higher than the center of the cell. You can see this cell there's no way to get that out of there. You can't grab it there, or usually if you can pop up an end, but it makes it rather tedious. So what I've done here is I've clearanced some of those out, so you can pop a cell in and then you can remove it. So the end of each of these cell holders has that recess, but the middle ones don't. So there's 1, 2, 3, and let me show you how I do that. So I don't do any measuring, but I use my 2 cutters here to set up how to make the cut. You can see right there I used my end nippers here to set the width of the bottom, because that way I just make one cut right there, and then I just use the side cutters to come in here about a 45-degree angle, so it's just a little bit wider than the factory opening there. So what I do is just come down here, and I find if I just kind of rest the cutter not quite on the contacts, but just a little bit off there, and you just go down, and you only have to go about halfway down through the rib. You don't really need to cut it all out of there. So you can see, just give it a quick little cut like that, and you need a fairly hefty pair of side cutters, and then I'll do the other side, and then I'll show you using the end cutters there. Okay, I've gone in here and finished cutting the other side. Now all I do is take my end cutters here. You just get them down about halfway down there, about the depth of your cut, and you get them pretty much centered there, and just give them one squeeze. Sometimes like this one, I was a little bit too wide on the ends, and then it just frees up your little piece there. And if you get it just right, the plastic kind of fractures right there. It's almost like splitting a piece of wood off. There we go. You can see you can usually get them out in one cut if you do it. Just take out the little piece that's left in the middle. Would have been easier if I had done all these before I put them on the board, but I was only using pairs of cells at the time, so I really didn't think I needed to concern myself with single cells. But now that I'm testing single cells for a while, I figured I'd make maybe 2 of these rows single cell friendly. And now let's try one of these cells in there. So if we go in like that, just enough of the edge of the cell exposed that you can actually lift it out of there. So yeah, that's how I modify these. So I've got 2 of these modified, so I'll kind of stick to those 2 sets of holders for my single cell testing. Now that's about the amount you want to take out, not quite a 1/4 inch. You can use this factory notch here as a guide. I don't know why they don't just propagate these notches all the way through, because these are perfect, the 2 end cells, but it's the 2 in the middle. So you can get this one out. This one is hard. If you have the 2 cells side by side, it's kind of hard to get in there. So that's why you need to open up all of them, because then that way you can work that way or you can work this way. You've got to start on one side and work your way down, whichever side's easier. But yeah, I got to get this back in the office, and I've got more sets of single cells to test, and I just got my 4S battery charged back up again, so I'm good to go. And otherwise, if you have any comments, you can post up in the comment section below. I'll put some other videos over here on the left side you might be interested in. And as always, thanks for watching.